morning, Tri-State on this Sunday morning, the last day of May. I'm Julie O'Neill. WCPO 9 News anchor Tamika Artis will join us shortly. We are following breaking news as protesters once again march in the streets overnight in Cincinnati. The violence started downtown late last night, with protests moving north to the Clifton area near UC. This as Cincinnati police officers work to enforce a curfew at 10 p.m. that is still in effect right now. WCPO 9 News has team coverage of the overnight protests. I'm joined by anchor Tamika Artis this morning with the neighborhoods closer to the city.
Yep.
Under curfew, things shifted to Clifton last night.
Yeah, I was going to say, Julie, a wild night. Much of that activity, as you mentioned, happening after 10 o'clock, after that curfew went into effect in various parts of the city, in the West End, downtown, the banks, but it did not go into effect in Clifton. And so that is where a number of people moved during the night to protest there. And that is where we find Jasmine Miner this morning live at the University of Cincinnati, where those protests continue throughout the night. She has a look at the damage this morning and where things stand right now. Jasmine, good morning to you.
Well, good morning, guys. Yeah, it was really intense once people headed from downtown here to UC's campus. And it wasn't just protesters heading up here, but Cincinnati police, Ohio State patrol troopers, the SWAT team was here. In fact, a Cincinnati police officer was actually shot at by a protester. And the only reason he is okay right now and was not injured was because he was wearing a ballistic helmet. But it wasn't just that happening with that intensity. It's the leftover tension from police between the community and then, of course, what's happening with businesses and the amount of damage. Just take a look inside. Okay, so I'm at Mr. Tuxedo on McMillan right now, and you see how much damage there is from the glass shattered windows here. In fact, you actually can't walk any of the sidewalks without tripping over some kind of glass or stepping on it. So you're gonna have to be careful if you're getting up this morning. And that's because there were multiple small businesses that were had their windows shattered. I mean, over here at this pizzeria, I mean, just take a look at how much damage there is inside. You see all of that? Absolutely incredible. I mean, you can actually, if we can get a close-up, I don't know if you guys are able to see, but past the chairs, there's a brick that is sitting on the floor there. That is really indicative of what we're seeing down here at UC's campus right now, and just the amount of intensity, the tension that was happening. In fact, right now what you see is very calm, but just take a look at the video from last night. I mean, you just see police moving forward. They had a pepper ball rounds. You even see that guy tripping there. It's not clear whether he might have tripped over something or maybe he was hit with something. That's unclear. But then that's the kind of scene that we were dealing with here at UC. I mean, you saw people putting their hands up saying, "Don't shoot, don't shoot, I can't breathe." That was the chants that was heard really across campus here and really across downtown pretty much after 10 o'clock at night. In fact, that police officer was shot at around 12:30 this morning. And so really this has been an all-night thing. Now we're looking at 5 a.m. and this is when things have really just started to cool down. But you know, who knows what's going to happen later on today, if more protests, if we're going to see that, or if we're going to see those tensions still rise again, or if people are going to start protesting peacefully. I'm interested to see if Mayor Cranley actually issues a curfew here for Cincinnati's campus just because of what was going on. But we'll keep you guys posted as we learn the latest. I'm reporting live. Jasmine Miner, WCPO 9 News.
All right, Jasmine, thank you so much. We'll check back in with you in about a half hour from now. But in the meantime, as last night's 10 o'clock curfew went into effect, police officers shifted positions and began detaining people who were out on the streets after hours. WCPO 9 News reporter Lisa Smith is live this morning at Cincinnati Police District 1 headquarters with our continuing team coverage. Lisa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tamika. Yeah, we are here outside Cincinnati Police District 1 headquarters. Very quiet right now, but if you were watching our coverage yesterday, you know that this was one of the scenes of those large protests. So you can see behind me that they still actually have the barricades up that are blocking the entrance to the headquarters, as well as the floodlights that are up. Obviously, it has been a very, very long night for Cincinnati police officers, as well as Ohio State Patrol and Hamilton County Sheriff's deputies who are working to enforce that 10 p.m. curfew. Now, we do know that there were a few arrests last night. We have some video that we can show you from Over-the-Rhine. We captured the video of arrests that were being made after that curfew was enforced. We noticed several several dozen Cincinnati police officers blocking off streets, directing traffic, and ready for any curfew violators. We also noticed that they were carrying those plastic flex cuffs to use if necessary as part of the arrests that were made. We do not have a number of arrests made overnight during the time that the curfew was enforced, but as you know, the protests and crowds moved around a lot last night as the curfew went into effect in the areas of Over-the-Rhine, Central Business District, as well as the banks. Some groups moved to Clifton, as we just heard from our Jasmine Miner, and there was obviously some activity, as you saw in her report, in that area. So we are waiting still to hear a number from Cincinnati Police on how many arrests were made during the night, how many were curfew violations, and what will those charges look like. Now, of course, the curfew is still in effect. It will be in effect for a little bit longer, until 6 o'clock, so a little less than an hour from now is when the curfew will expire, but it will go back into effect tonight at 10 o'clock again for anybody who is out and about in those areas. Reporting live downtown, Lisa Smith, WCPO 9 News.
You have to wonder if they will extend that curfew to other parts of the city tonight.